Part 1. The goal is to understand how hedonism and the consumer culture affect society in the era of globalization and how marketing is related to this. Currently, in our world, one of the most important aspects of the future successful survival of mankind is the problem of consumption. But to deal with this effectively, we need to understand where such problems come from and how marketing is related to them. Now our task is to understand below the approach at these issues and make a small contribution to the common cause. Accusation. Hedonistic society is attributed to consumer marketing. This article examines the claim that the modern consumer society is hedonistic, mainly due to modern marketing practices. Since hedonism in this context means degenerative influence, it is important to assess whether the marketing accusation is true or to what extent it is justified. Let's raise such a topic as hedonism. Because the idea that marketing as an effective tool of capitalism contributes to a high level of consumption ingrained in society, thus the association of marketing with materialism, consumption, and hedonism in general. In the article, I will adapt the discussion, express it, and write it based on the work of other authors, and we will put them into a small scientific word that will also present my own interpretation of the question raised. Part 2. First, if a society claims in the fault of consumer marketing lies in creating a hedonistic society of material consumption, then it is necessary to define what is meant by the term hedonism, because the very concept of hedonism is questioned in the form that is accepted and rooted in society. They are variation on this theme or in philosophical discourse. Second, in general, the concepts of consumerism and hedonism are, according to the authors, one of the components of rhetoric and the condemnations, since they are associated with throughless consumption. They will be giving a negative connotation. By themselves, these terms don't have a final and original meaning, but at the same time they are free conceptual bundles and cover many aspects of various phenomena. Third, there is also such a concept as hedonistic orientation, which refers to the consumer's tendency to engage in various forms of hedonistic consumption. At the measurement of this indicator, in our opinion, is extremely important today for conducting component segmentation of consumers and accordingly the subsequent adaptation of all elements of the marketing mix to consumer preferences, and depending on the preferences of a utilitarian or hedonistic orientation. Fourth, you can talk for a long time about what is right, what is a contradictory, and so on. According to Gosling and Campbell, the buyer can enjoy observing social norms or creating a system of uplifting values when buying, and at the same time act as a hedonistic member of society. These statements are as a level of theory which cannot be fully confirmed, but it is already possible to judge from these works that the works corresponds to and has the same basis with previous theories. This means that in general they don't contradict each other, but rather complement each other. Third, part 3, first one is philosophy, epistemology, interpretivism. This type of research philosophy is well suited to the type of my scientific work, because the topic itself is conductive and to interpretation reasoning. This kind of research is good to supplement and interested for our modern time science. Interpretationism asserts that individual observers have their own perception and understanding of reality. Second, approach and deductive methods. Since the work of conductive to interpretation, the intellectual work with the theory are very important to understand the point of view of other scientists on this topic. Then, with this body of knowledge, starting to reason and conduct research is a more effective way to achieve significant results. Third, strategy. Survey method. This strategy is a very good option for my research, because in order to reason and draw conclusions about the question asked, you need to have a large amounts of data about a hedonistic society. To do this, you need to collect information from various sources, such as interviews, surveys, case studies, or a systematic review of the literature. Fourth, choice of methods, mono method. For my research, it is more important to work with one data type, since the research topics itself is more focused on a qualitative than a quantitative sample of data. Fifth, time horizons. Longitudinal. This type of research is more effective because this type of scientific work isn't done so often, and the difference in results and the conclusion can be seen with the change of generations. This means that longitudinal data implies observation for a specific variable that are available for several years, quarters, months, or days. 6. Data collection and analysis. As a researcher, I must record decisions related to sample groups, questionnaires content, interview contents, and ethics. We will focus mainly on secondary data, since the data we need is most likely collected for various marketing purposes, and it isn't difficult to get useful information from such studies for our scientific work. But in the study itself, quality research will be used as a priority. Qualitative research concerns extensive data, including opinions and descriptions and personal reports, because to make a well-written conclusion on my topic, you need a more extensive research methods, which should include not only statistical but more personal reports, opinions, and case studies. That is, I think, I will be qualitative data. That's all. Thank you. Goodbye.